Have you ever wondered what Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales looks like without special effects? In this video, we take a behind-the-scenes look at some of scenes of this movie, from ghost sharks underwater to the house on the run. Trust us, you won't believe your eyes, so sit back and let's get started. Though it never really occurred to us, the Pirates team was hard at work creating fully formed models of the sharks.
The sharks were essentially fully realized real objects on set, and then we did digital takeovers of them. We ended up breaking their jaws, having their jaws dangle, slime coming out of the mouth, and then we added flies around them to make sure that it had that added.
Which they then digitally altered to give them a really ghostly appearance. The intention was for these sharks to appear really frightening. We're talking about shattered jaws, flies, and slime. Now we would surely flee if we came across these in the wild. I think you were also surprised that a couple of horses just pull a big house. What if I told you that it wasn't actually the horses pulling the house, it was the tractor that was inside the house? It took coordination of all departments, and that was the key here. Oh, and the tractor driver didn't see where he was going. While some takes might have been spoiled, it doesn't imply that they weren't enjoyable.
I'm a little bit late. I'm so done.
When a take didn't go as planned, it wasn't always due to an actor's mistake. In this instance, it was because this particular pirate excelled a bit too much in his role. Fortunately, it resulted in a hearty collective laugh among the crew.
And I want you to, and I'd like to try it all again. I really would. Do you guys mind?
It didn't take as much magnitude as you might think to pull off this falling wall stunt here. However, this scene caused quite a lot of panic around this small but noisy scene. The concept of parched soil immediately sparked Salazar's imagination and that of his team.
Well, it took me a little while to adjust to the time frame, in the sense that I think it was like around 3 hours, 30 minutes every day for the makeup.
It entailed extensive hours in the makeup chair, approximately 3 to 3.5 hours for each session. Patience became an essential virtue. Not everyone underwent the complete transformation, as there simply weren't enough hours in the day to accomplish everything.
We had to create a look whereby they look like they've been blown up. The ship gets blown up, we imagine they've got blown up. We wanted to do something physical, so we came up with this image of cracked earth. That was our basis for doing all this work.
Despite having remarkable prosthetics, the actor portraying Salazar also underwent CGI enhancements to achieve the illusion of a substantial portion of his skull disappearing. Whether it was the cracked earth makeup or the use of blue for Javier, these techniques were perfect for achieving the desired ghostly aesthetic. I think all of you have already noticed the new cast, new director, new cameraman, new actors. Bringing in a new cast for the 5th movie in the franchise was a good and interesting decision. They perfectly managed to blend into this pirate style and at the same time give a fresh look.
Heard stories of a mighty Spanish captain, El Matador del Mar, a man who skirts the sea, hunted and killed thousands.
The filming process had just begun, and it was one of the initial scenes where this duo had performed together. During this scene, Kea made a slight mistake. The director had a humorous idea of having her pretend to step on her co-star's groin, but not for real, of course. Regrettably, it didn't quite hit the mark with this one. Taking on Gibbs' appearance wasn't quite a Hollywood moment, but the process was certainly novel. Given the requirement for a gritty and dirty appearance, it seemed wasteful to use expensive cosmetics when the most genuine effect could be achieved through simpler means.
And to save money on makeup, we get a little mud from the car park and we rub it in like that, see? And then we put some on the back.
We had to ration the mud from the parking lot this morning, and even that felt like a luxury at times. Something about it is both unique and recognizable. Without his trademark mutton chops, Kevin McNally grew them himself for the first 4 movies in the series, proving once and for all that Gibbs would not be Gibbs without them. In Dead Men Tell No Tales, however, the prosthetic mutton chops were a great asset because they did not have as much gray hair as McNally's real ones did. The actor Salazar was first promised that the gnome he was going to use would taste like chocolate, but in reality, it turned out to be everything but sweet. Even so, it was still a nice environment because they needed to put it on his teeth. There was a general feeling of disgust that day. There is no better way to end a shoot than to end it with your family. This scene turned out to be one of the best ways to end filming in an environment more reminiscent of a family vacation than a movie set. It's a good thing it went smoothly because once the filming was over, the beach could never get back to the way it looked. Being submerged underwater didn't require them to actually venture into the sea. Surprisingly, within a span of approximately 2 to 3 months, the crew managed to construct this astonishing underwater setting on solid ground.
The set took 2 to 3 months to actually build, and it's colorful, fluorescent, it's beautiful.
Every intricate element we witness was painstakingly crafted from the ground up, encompassing everything from coral formations to the marine creatures to the ocean floor. The existence of such an elaborate and immersive environment greatly facilitated the actors in genuinely feeling as though they were submerged beneath the waves. While it may appear spectacular on camera, repeatedly getting drenched in motion capture suits, to say the least, doesn't result in the most comfortable day on set. Walking in this scenario is far from a relaxed experience, but the Pirates team, as always, manages to pull it off. The production timetable faced disruptions due to the frequent tardiness of the one and only Jack Sparrow. It posed such a challenge that the team resorted to stationing a production assistant outside of Depp's residence in a vehicle, monitoring his waking hours, all in an effort to kickstart the production. Subsequently, filming encountered additional delays due to an unforeseen hand injury that temporarily sidelined Depp. Is this the real underwater experience or just clever special effects? Seriously, if we observed the interplay of lights and shadows that masterfully recreated the sensation of being at the ocean floor, we'd be wondering the same thing.
Of course, it was a massive light rig to make it appear like you're trapped between two giant walls.
A gigantic lighting rig and miniature pools of water suspended from the ceiling, combined with adjustable lights, were the key ingredients that brought this illusion to life. Who needs computer-generated imagery, CG, when you have flickering lights and meticulously rippling water? Regardless of which attire was chosen, rest assured it was meticulously crafted down to the smallest details. There are two distinct costumes at play here, the pristine version and what we refer to as the ghosted variant.
To use, strong shoulders, clean lines, to make that he's very fastidious, he's very impatient. She wanted to try to bring that into his costume.
Every intricate aspect, from the intricate silver embroidery to the painstakingly attached buttons, conveys volumes about the character adorned in this attire. In the making of Dead Men Tell No Tales, an impressive total of 13 ships were constructed, with one colossal vessel stretching out to a staggering 160 feet in length. It's important to note that these weren't your run-of-the-mill boats. Maintaining the authenticity of period language is quite the intricate task. Kevin McNally, who has been part of the Pirates franchise since its inception, possessed a discerning ear for getting the language just right, and if something sounded off, he'd certainly notice it. Kaya, still in the process of learning the ropes, greatly benefited from his keen attention to detail. It's the dedication to precision that truly elevates Pirates of the Caribbean into the legendary franchise it has become. On the set, Kaya Scodelario was performing daring stunts, and she did so while donning a whopping 17 layers of clothing, including a snug corset. I'm typically more of a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl, so I was quite apprehensive about all of this. Interestingly, there were also numerous pairs of high heels on the set, and they weren't exclusively for the women. It's worth noting that Brenton Thwaites braved those heels in less than ideal circumstances. Personally, I found walking in high heels on the boats to be quite a challenging feat. Let's just toss those heels overboard. If you like this video, put a like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon!